can see people have started joining in. Hello, welcome to a live at CrafTangles. A lot of you have been requesting that we do YouTube lives. So that is what we are doing while people join in. I will just kind of, clean my table and stuff so that I'm ready, kind of doing my last minute preps. So just give me a moment. And I hope people are enjoying winters wherever they are. Bombay winters have started. Hi, Vijaya. So I hope I'm audible to people. If someone can, just confirm that, that would be great. Can someone confirm that I'm audible? Okay. So while people join in, I just wanted to give a small intro for those of you who are watching us live for the first time. I am Khyati, one of the founder of CrafTangles and Handmade. And normally with these lives, our idea is to use a lot of CrafTangles products where 90% of those are made in India. And what we are trying to do is create awareness. And, in case what we are doing is doing these lives so that in case you have any queries, कि ये क्यों हम प्रोडक्ट यूज कर रहे हैं, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं हम स्टेप एक्सेट्रा. These lives are perfect, to ask the question. What we want to, since you most of you know that CraftAngles has a huge range of products from alcohol inks to watercolors to decoupage to mixed media to journaling, etc., etc. So what we are trying to do is we bring DTs every week who have one area of expertise and we go live with them and we make products with them live so that it is informational not just for one product category but across product category. Thank you Sama and Vijaya for confirming. Hi Kavita. So today what we are doing is going to be a decoupage project. So we are going to do a decoupage end to end, lot of things, mixed media kind of elements also added. And apart from that, before I get into the live, there was one thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that our Black Friday sale is on. A lot of you have been DMing us and asking us when the Black Friday sale will be on. So I think it's been 2-3 days that the sale is on. Now, Black Friday sale is the biggest sale for us in a year. So this in this sale, as of now, I'll tell you two offers, and then you can go on the website and check. So the biggest offer is you get flat 15 on all products, be it Prima, Stamperia, other brands, etc. If you buy above 15,000, and you get flat 10% off over and above the current sale. On orders about 10,000, 5% on orders about 5,000, so on and so forth. So this bulk sales are going on, and apart from that, flat 25% off on all CraftAngles product. Now remember, we don't do such big sales. We do only this once a year. So this we are doing it this Black Friday, and then we don't know next when it's gonna come. Probably next Black Friday. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up for those of you who are interested in buying products. Do check out our website. As soon as you open the website, there's a banner on Black Friday sale. If you click on that, it will take you to all the relevant coupon codes that are available on website, and you can go and check out the one that suits your cart and place an order accordingly. We take orders through website only. We don't take orders through DMs or WhatsApp. Just an information for those of you who are joining us for the first time. Now on to today's live. So today's live is going to be decoupage. Last week also we did decoupage. It's a pretty popular art form in a lot of you, and a lot of you are always asking for those tutorials. Today we are doing live with Anamika, but what we are doing is I kind of am doing a live with her. So I'm also going to make a decoupage project, and she is also going to make a decoupage project. Now decoupage project, for those of you who have already known me, know that I take a little bit of time. So we'll see how it goes. And today we are doing, as the banner would have suggested, that we are doing a Christmas decoupage. So I will take you through my desk, and I'll also add Anamika into the chat, and we can get started. So, Anamika, you are live now.
Okay, hi everyone. Hi Khyati.
Hi, you are audible. So
Yeah.
you first give us an intro of what you are doing, and then I'll start.
Like we have decided, I'm planning to use one of the Christmas themed paper. So maybe these birds and some elements. So
Okay.
I have taken this simple bottle. I'm going to go very simple this time. And the
Okay.
only thing which I have done is I have put some element here because this take time to dry because it was made out of resin. So some people usually they ask me how, like, when resin harden it becomes hard like this. So it's
Mm.
very difficult to place them on a curved surface. So whenever they are soft, I have, what happens is, once it was like soft before it has matured or cured fully, I took it out of the mold and I have pasted it with glue. That's it.
Okay.
That's all you will have to.
Okay. Okay. So, Ekta and Kavita says hello. Now, before we start, if you could just let us know what are the napkins that you are using, the code, etc., so people would know.
Yes. So I'll be using Winter Birds 1. That
Okay.
is the plan so far. And maybe I'll be using a part of Christmas Elements. That is
Same
CTTN
page,
PA4
Anamika. I'm also going to
115.
use the same
Yeah.
page.
So I'll run according to as and when I'll finish the
Okay.
main elements, putting these birds, and then accordingly I'll plan it out.
Sounds good.
So should we start?
Yeah. Is
Oh,
my screen coming a blur, guys? If someone could, comment and confirm the left side of the screen, is it very blur? Because for me, I can see it's fine. So I'm not sure. While, Anamika is just showing the surface, we can start.
so I'm going to put 2 coats of gesso, Khyati.
Okay.
So it is going to take some time to dry also. This is the first coat which I'm putting.
चलेगा चलेगा या मेरा एक्चुअली पता नहीं मेरा स्क्रीन थोड़ा ब्लर हो रहा है सो आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू सी कि व्हाट इज द
Sure,
इशू
sure.
बिकॉज ऑन माय कंप्यूटर इट इज शोइंग प्रॉपर्ली सो आई probably just see. Is it still blur? Getting a bit clear now. Okay. Eh, so can we change the camera? Back to Okay. Guys, while I'm working, I will probably just, orally say, and I have asked someone to see what is the issue. So they will say. Meanwhile, I'll just get started. Thoda thoda, I will do some basics. So as Anamika said, she's going to mostly use the napkin, which is Winter Birds, the name of the napkin. What I am going to use is called Christmas Elements. So both of these napkins are by CrafTangles. Now, this is a newly launched product. For those of you who don't know, as you can see, it's very thin. You can see the complete print on the back. So this is our made in India decoupage napkins. Again, a very popular product since we launched it somewhere in April, I think. So this is what I am using. It has a lot of little like Christmas elements that I'm going to use to create a scene. So today I'm going to do a box. Let me just zoom out a bit. Okay. So I'll probably just change the camera. So I'm trying to do that. So bear with me while we are zooming out, etc. So what I'll be using from this entire element set is going to be this snowman with the tree and this Santa. Okay, so these two are the things that I'm going to use. So what I'm going to first do is I'll cut out those elements from the napkin. Now, whenever you want to do decoupage, since these napkins are so thin, they are like one ply, all you need to do is use a little bit of water in your brush and you're good. Okay. So all you do is get a wavy line. I'm just trying out to see if the second camera is better. So guys, give me a moment. So that's why you are seeing two cameras of mine. Yeah. So this now I think the blurring issue should go. I have changed my camera. So hopefully this will work. Yeah. Yeah. So we have moved the camera just now to my other camera. Okay, now hopefully you'll be able to see it better. Okay. So just a small kind of free providing the details. So I'm doing this upcycling of a box. This was a sweet box. I thought I'll make it into like a Christmas box for people where I can, store gifts inside it, etc. So my idea is that I'm going to create like a Christmas scene on the front, okay, with these two elements. And then in the background, we'll do some coloring, stamping, stenciling, molds. Let's see what we plan. Okay, great. So does this need charging? So this is just a mithai box, guys, that I have upcycled. Just for those of you who want to know. Now, what I like to do with my image setup or blending the napkin, the easiest hack that I have found for those of you who are not a blending pro is that abhi yahan pe if I put this napkin, right, you will see इसमें काफी watercolor effect है, which has a lot of blues and blacks in the background. Okay, like a snowy, cloudy kind of an scene. So that is what I'll go with. And I will add these colors beforehand, very light shade color in the background. So what that will do is it will kind of create a very quick watercolor background for me. And then later on, if a little bit of blending is needed, I'll do it. But majority of the time, I don't think I'll need a blending. So that's the beauty of, these stuff that if you do it like this beforehand, it will become easier for you. For those of you who are not a blending pro, and who want to get away with saving time, etc. So that is what I'm going to do here. And the colors that I'll be using is midnight black, midnight dreams. This is a chalk paint for a little bit of black, and I'm going to use this brilliant blue, which is a liquid acrylic. Now, actually, I wanted to use both the liquid acrylics to kind of create the watercolor look, but the black is out of stock, so I'm not using that. I'll show you how you can do that with chalk paint also. Okay. So that is what we'll be doing. And just a quick reminder that the napkin that I'm using now, since my camera is clear, is Christmas Elements napkin. The number is 115. Okay. So now what we are doing is, and of course, I have already, added 2 coats of gessos on the box, etc. You can see there are little minute inconsistencies here and there, but we can fix that later on. But I have added 2 coats of gesso already. Okay. And what we are going to do next is, uh, change. So I will wet my box with a little bit of water because remember I'm going with like a watercolor look and I want to not put a lot of effort in blending. So it needs to be fast and I'll let the water do the work for me. Okay, so I've blended it and then I'm going to use both the colors that I spoke about. Just take two brushes, but now remember with liquid acrylics, less is more. So always go with very light hand. Water. Okay. So I'm going to just take a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to spread that. So you can see I'm going with a very light wash. Okay. It may look very messy, but it will all come together. And you are welcome, Pradnya. I saw your comment. We want to actually do a lot of YouTube, but kya kare? As I said, a lot of people only watch Instagram. So unfortunately, we also have to do on Instagram. And I don't know on Anamika's account, we are facing some issue where she is not able to, invite us for live, etc. So that is why we are not able to do the switching of the camera, etc. Also. So now you can see it is creating that cloudy effect as soon as I added a little bit of black. Again, remember, we are going with a very light wash. So less is more. You don't have to, use a lot. Just use little bit. Yeah. I'll go at the bottom and here bit at little bit at the top. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to pick up a little bit because I want to kind of create like a cloudy effect. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm taking a tissue and you can see it is picking up color. Okay. So it is kind of going to create like a cloudy halo kind of an effect. Now this is all watercolor tricks, but we are doing this with acrylics to create a background. So the learning never goes to waste. Okay. So that is what we have done. I'll dry this. Take a little bit of blue from here. As always, guys, if you have any question, please feel free to ask us question. We are definitely, looking at the chat, etc. Also at the same time. Now you can see that I kind of have a blended background. My screen is a little bit more bright, so that is why you don't see a lot of colors. But in person, there is a lot of colors. and it is very similar to these trees. Okay, so now it will blend very beautifully here, and we don't have to, put in a lot of effort. So that is what we were trying to say. हाँ, आई थिंक सो। अनामिका, अभी आपका नेक्स्ट स्टेप चालू होएगा तो आप मुझे बताना, so that I'll let people know, or you could tell us what you are doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have simply gessoed my bottle. I've
Okay.
taken out the element.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to glue it up with the help of your decoupage glue. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm using this particular element,
Hmm. So this is the bird that you are
the
using.
birds. Yes.
Okay.
Amount of glue should be just uh, whatever is required to paste, because the paper is thin, so you have to be a bit
Yeah.
careful not to overdo it, not to give too much of. So my those who are following me, they already know that what I usually do is I keep this, and on top of that I use plastic to get rid of the extra ones.
Right.
Just a moment.
Yeah. So just a reminder that here you can see both the methods that we are doing. So what Anamika is doing is the direct application of the napkin on the bottle. And what I like to do is I like to first stick it on a folder, and then I will apply it like so on the design. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do, and Anamika is directly applying. So you can use either of the method. Personally, I feel the one that I do is more beginner friendly, and the one Anamika does will take a little bit of experimentation and trials. But you could do either ways once you kind of get hang of it. So I'm also going to do the same thing. Add glue, and we'll start. आज आपको भी अनामिका थोड़ा बीच-बीच में बोलते रहना पड़ेगा।
Done, 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 done. So somehow, this for me, this comes out to be creaseless. Now there is a small, dent or depression on the bottle here. So I'm going to use a little bit of water so that the paper places
And
itself nice and proper. Okay.
so it
Now
goes
my,
into that dent.
yeah, yes.
Okay.
And now wherever the paper is like loose, I'm going to use little bit of glue and glue it up. Okay. So once now my main intention out here will be the blending of the background. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this entire thing has to be blended now, but I'll wait a little because I want the glue to be soaked in so that there are no creases as such.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
have to put one more coat of decoupage glue on top of this. So I'm going to just use my heat tool halke se so that it dries up.
Hmm. So while Anamika dries up, you can see this is what I have done. I have used the folder method, and you can see my application also. Now, most of it is creaseless. While lifting here, I got a little bit of crease. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of clean water, which I used on the folder, and the same soft bristle brush. So this is not a paint wala brush. This is a soft bristle brush that I specially use only to handle napkins. And I'm going to just remove those creases with a very light hand. You can see how light my hand is. So that is what I'm doing. Okay. So just removing now, since I have already applied glue, this will stick properly, and we can add another coat of decoupage glue on top of it once we complete everything. Okay,
Now
so both
here
the
I'm
application works, both the methods.
I'm just putting one more coat of glue on top of this.
Okay. Hi Sneha, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Sneha is saying I'm loving what both of you are making. स्नेहा कल हम भी एक
And
क्रिसमस करते हैं हम मतलब तुम मेरे को भी थोड़ा ब्रेक चाहिए या लेट्स सी आई कैन डू इट we'll plan tomorrow we'll take a call. So by the way, tomorrow we have a live with Sneha. Do let me know what you guys want, whether you want to do it on YouTube or Instagram. I'll also speak to Sneha on how we are planning to do it. So I'll dry this a little bit first. Because
Now, how do we blend it? Most important part of decoupage is blending with the surrounding. Now, if we see, we have at the lower part, we have a blend of grays and blues. Red again forms a very integral part because we have the cherries. I'm going to take up the reds and the oranges on top and leave it to the grays and blue at the bottom area. Okay, that is what my plan is so far.
oh,
Let's see.
okay. While selecting the chalk pen, could you also tell us the color names so that
Yes, yes,
people.
absolutely. I'll do.
So now what, while Anamika selects the colors, what I will do is I was just trying to apply the Santa here and see, is it, remember the napkins are very thin. So whatever design you have, अगर आप एक नैपकिन को दूसरे नैपकिन के ऊपर डालोगे तो नीचे वाला डिजाइन सी थ्रू करेगा from the napkin. So if that's the look that you are going for example, what I did over here, right? You could do that. That's completely fine. So you can see the writings below the roses. But if that's not the look that you're going for, so in my case, that's not right. So I'm going to put a little bit of white here where there is overlap before I put my Santa. Okay. Hi, Sneha. सब YouTube, Facebook खेल रहे हैं. Thank you, Vijaya. Yes, both the methods are good. Depending on what you are comfortable with, you could definitely select any method.
Okay, so I'm using Bohemian blue
Ah,
and wet cement,
okay,
and maybe I'll be requiring some midnight dreams.
okay. So the color names that Anamika spoke about are all chalk paints by CrafTangles. Midnight Dreams is also the one that I use. So these are our chalk paint bottles. And then we have our liquid acrylics bottle. So this is also acrylics and that is also acrylics. Both of them are acrylics, but they give different effect. Okay. So now while Anamika is removing colors, what I have done is I have taken gesso. So this is how our gesso looks. I'm just taking very little of it because I don't want more. Okay. And I'm going to add take water in my brush because I don't want a very strong coat of white also because we have already blended our background, right? So I'm just going to add a little bit of white here just to kind of, make it a little bit muddy ताकि हमारा सैंटा पॉप हो जाए ट्रीज के आगे. ठीक है. So that is what I'm going over here. Okay. That's it. We'll dry this and we'll see if we need one more layer.
Okay, so if you can see my color palette here, I'm taking a little bit of Bohemian blue
Mhm.
and wet cement, mixing the two to attain this shade.
Grayish blue shade. So that's the grayish blue shade that you are trying to achieve by
Yeah,
mixing the two colors. Okay.
yeah.
Great. Thank you for confirming, Pradnya. Facebook is also working properly. Thank God. Good, good, good. So now, while Anamika is blending, I will stick my Santa here. So I'm going to follow the same process that I did for my snowman. Guys, in case you have any questions for Anamika in terms of blending, please do, feel free to ask us in the chat and I will confirm with Anamika and I'll ask her. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of multitasking today. अच्छा, ओके. सो सबको एफबी पसंद है. गुड टू नो. आई एम अ बिग यूट्यूब लवर. मेरे को मतलब इफ आई स्पेंड लाइक 4 hours of screen time, out of that 3 hours would probably be 3+ hours will be on YouTube. आप किस पे ज्यादा स्क्रीन टाइम यूज करते हो अनामिका? यूट्यूब, फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम?
Insta.
इंस्टा. अनामिका इज मोर जेन जी देन मी देन.
आई एम अ टोटल इंस्टा वाला थिंग. फेसबुक तो मैंने मतलब बंद ही कर दिया ऑलमोस्ट.
फेसबुक इवन आई डोंट टेंशन. अभी भी मैं ऐसे थोड़ा ओल्ड स्कूल हूँ. आई लाइक यूट्यूब, यूट्यूब से सीखना ऑल दैट रादर देन इंस्टा एंड फेसबुक.
See, what I usually do is nowadays I mean whenever I see a project and it inspires me, what I try to do is without if at all there is a tutorial, I try not to see the tutorial and I try to make it myself with my own whatever twists or maybe I don't know. I
लर्निंग्स भी
mean,
आ
yeah,
जाए.
I
मेरे साथ भी होता है ये. मैं आजकल रेजन में ऐसे ही कर रही हूँ. आई एम टेकिंग इंस्पिरेशन. सो या अनदर प्लेस व्हिच वेयर आई स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इज पिंटरेस्ट. आई जस्ट
yes,
लाइक टू सी
again, I
पिक्चर्स एंड
also love it.
या
Yeah.
आइडियाज आ जाती है दिमाग में. देन यू कैन मेक योर ओन. Yeah. It definitely, yeah. I'm not a big Insta fan to be honest, Pradnya. But kya kare, the maximum people these days are on that. So that is why we try to do there. In fact, meko vertical se zyada hamesha horizontal tarika of learning I have always liked. As I said, I'm very old school that ways. But maximum of our followers nowadays, they want to come on Insta. So but yeah, I want to like create a good balance of both ताकि दोनों तरफ के लोग खुश रहे. I do ulta, watching something and give my twist. Right now obsessed with geometrical patterns. Good to know. Same कविता. मेरा भी actually ऐसा ही है. I watch something on Pinterest, like it, and then I kind of do it on, I think कि मैं कैसे कर सकती हूँ and how I can make it better because that person का दिमाग था. अब मैं उसको next level ले जाती हूँ. वैसा. Also, if you plan to reuse such kind of, plastic folders, etc., just make sure that you clean them immediately. Because, once the glue is dry, it kind of makes the plastic tacky and फिर वो reuse करना मुश्किल होता है. So what I do is I kind of clean it with water and then I'll reuse it. Now I normally like to use folders, but unfortunately यार मेरे को मेरा folder नहीं मिल रहा था, इसीलिए मैंने सोचा चलो flat ही है तो I can use plastic. So that is why I'm using the plastic. This is the same plastic that came with the napkin packaging, nothing special. So this is my scene. अनामिका ने पूरा ब्लेंडिंग का काम लिया है कि चलो उसी बार 1 घंटा हो जाएगा मेरा और ख्याति का भी तब तक हो जाएगा.
No, but I hope people are able to understand how am I going about it.
Yeah, currently you are doing the blue gray shade and then you're lightening out it with white
Yes,
at
correct,
places, right? So it's just one
correct.
shade. that you're
Yes.
currently working. Okay.
Yes. So if you want to lighten it up, just make use of white. That is exactly what I'm doing it. Wherever I feel that the color is too heavy on the base, I'm just using some white to lighten it up with the same sponge.
Okay.
Before anything else, I'm going to first dry it up and then again start working on it.
वही तो कविता अनामिका मैम का स्पेशलिटी होता है कि शी इज एबल टू क्रिएट द एग्जैक्ट शेड्स एंड देन मेक इट
वो सबको
दैट
हो जाएगा. I mean, the moment you start working, you know exactly how
या
to go about it.
या एंड आई फील द मोर यू एक्सपेरिमेंट द मोर इट इजीली कम्स टू यू
Yeah.
सो मेरे जैसे बंदे को तो ऐसा मेरा वाटर कलर हैक बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि फटाफट हो भी जाता है और सिमिलर भी लग रहा है कि सब वाटर कलर में ही सीन बनाया है तो मैं ऐसे ही करती हूँ मतलब मैं ऐसे शॉर्टकट लेने में बड़ी माहिर हूँ सो यू कैन सी हियर द वाटर कलर लुक दैट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट right? So, in case you are like me and are not great at blending, then this is something that you could do. Or, if you have to make bulk orders and you are short on time, then this definitely saves a lot of time for you. And of course, अगर आप अनामिका की तरह masterpieces बनाना चाहते हो तो आप definitely blending and stuff कर सकते हो. So I also plan to use molds by the way. जो मैं बहुत कम यूज करती हूँ. So this is a Stamperia Flourish mold, one of my favorites. You can see how deep it is. So this is what I'm going to use with my molded clay. So I have already prepared it because it would have been time consuming, but this is what I'm using. Okay. So this is like an A plus B that we have already shown in one of the live with Anamika on how to use this with molds. And I have already, created these all molds that I plan to use. And I have added one coat of gesso on top of it because they were still very, you can see very pliable because I just made them like just before the live. So while these dry, uh, I will kind of use them.
Now
So,
I'm just extending the branches.
hmm. So अनामिका अभी एकदम आर्टिस्ट एक्रिलिक पेंटिंग कर रहे हैं. नाइस हाँ. Yes, yes. So Sneha used the distress oxide and Sneha आपने जो water color वो use किया ना houses. I am inspired to use that after looking at your video. So मेरे को वो भी करना है but let's see अभी कितना टाइम बचता है. बड़ा मन है मेरे को करने का.
Okay. Okay. So now let's come to the this part and the top part. Okay. So
Okay.
here I will be using a hint of red. So we
Okay.
have this beautiful red. I'm using sangria thoda sa.
So रेड में कौन से कलर्स यूज कर रहे हो आप?
We
सैंग्रिया.
are I'll be using sangria and black.
ओके.
That is midnight. क्या है वो?
मिडनाइट
Midnight
ड्रीम्स.
greens. Yeah.
So while Anamika is deciding on that, I was kind of deciding on, what corners, etc., that I want to do. So I think this is how I'll go. Earlier, I thought I'll use these smaller ones, but वो बहुत छोटे हो जाते हैं. For the, it also has the bigger ones but then I wanted this to be the focal point and, not take away eyes from here. So I'll be using these smaller, like comparatively smaller ones. This is okay. So now that that is done, I will decorate this. And Anamika has made her own shade of red, which is with sangria and black, which is our midnight dream. So those of you who are interested, uh, so Abhi, while she's doing that, I was thinking मैं ये सब decorate करूँ. तो first thing that I want to do is do the sides, okay? Because that will take a little bit of time to dry, as I want to do a little bit of stenciling there, and then I may do a little bit of stenciling here. Now, before I do stenciling, I wanted to do some snapping. So for that, I'm going to use our mixed media stamps. Now, every time, we do this stamp, a lot of you have been asking on, are these available? So these are now available. Almost we are trying to get our stamps back in stock. Dheere dheere. The first thing that we are doing are our mixed media stamps. So all these stamps that I'll be using are now back in stock. So I'm thinking I'll use this old letters, and I'm going to use some Versify Onyx Black. Okay. And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to do some second generation stamping. So first off, I'll stamp off on an extra piece of paper and then I'll stamp here so that it doesn't have a very strong impression while stamping. Okay. And while I was doing that, I just realized this is still wet. So I'll dry this first.
So this kind of looks patchy to me. So I'm going to tone it down with some white.
Okay. The branch के वहाँ पर.
Yes.
So you can see purposefully I'm like not putting a lot of pressure because I want uneven stamping. So it will create a more like a vintage kind of an effect rather than, having a clear stamping. So that's it. That's all the stamping that I'll be doing. So you can see I've kept most of it on the corners क्योंकि center में मेरा focal point है तो I don't want to take away my eyes from the center of the design. So now while this dries, and you can see here I have told you right, I was doing the second generation stamping. तो पहली बार मैंने इधर किया और फिर मैंने अपने बॉक्स पे किया. So now I wanted to do some stenciling on top of it. For that, what I decided was that I'll use where did my stencil? My craft room is literally chaotic right now. Give me a second, guys.
So now I'm just highlighting my element out here. So you can
Okay.
see with the
Yeah.
help of your wet cement and bohemian blue, these are the two shades that I'm just simply, highlighting the mold.
Okay. Okay. So here I'm going to use one of our used pencil, which is vintage stamps. Yeah. And along with that, I'm going to make my own shade of texture paste. So for that, I'm using my clear gloss acrylic, clear gloss texture paste, which is clear once it dries, even though it looks white. Okay, it dries clear. And then I am going to use red because I want to create my own red texture paste. And for that, I'm using ruby red chalk paint. Again, guys, whatever products we are talking about or using are all available on CraftAngles for those of you who are interested. Yeah. Now, this is another tip that I got from Sneha is that you can add cling wrap on your texture paste bottles like these. And mine is stuck because I just put in one layer, but you add multiple layers of cling wrap on top of it, and this will keep your paste hydrated. Also, when you close, just add a little spritz of water before you close it so that if because of hot temperature, if your paste is dry, water will dry instead of paste. And this water needs to be Bisleri water, guys, so it cannot be your regular tap water because it may catch fungus or more. Now this is gone, but I'll use my new cling wrap for closing this later.
So this is one more element which I'm planning to put near the neck. So I'm going to gesso it.
Okay, so this is again a mold piece made out of clay or resin.
This is clay. This is
Okay,
molded.
okay, mold. Mhm. Remember, this may look pinkish here because the paste base is white shade in looking, but since this is clear paste, it will dry red color, which is the ruby red chalk paint color. Okay. So here I'm not going to do a lot. I'm going to do quite a lot of it on the sides. I don't want a lot of it on the front. It is just to repeat the red color that I'm putting it here a little bit. And it will look continuation on the side. So that is why I'm adding a little bit of red. So you are able to see it.
So I'm just applying the glue.
Hmm.
Now the surface is not a plain surface. So what I will do is I'm going to put some molded on the glue here. and then again put some glue on the molded, and then paste my element.
Okay. So molded will kind of make sure that it dries
Yeah,
properly.
yeah, it dries properly and it will give it a proper level.
Okay. Okay. Another good tip if you are working with 3D layers and the curved shape like the bottle.
Now here I have made few elements with the help of my molded.
Hmm.
I have made few cherries,
Actually,
cherries
it
or
will
mistletoe. I don't know
cool.
what it is, and some leaves, which
Yeah.
I'm going to place it out here.
Wow. That will make it more 3D.
So the molded, if you can all see, they are still soft. Okay, they are not hardened, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can shape it up accordingly. Okay.
Right. Right.
Now, usually, if I would have had the time, what I would have done is I would have stuck them up, left it for a day so that it hardens and then colored it. But due to time constraint, I'm going to
Right.
just stick it up and then color it today itself.
Right. But ideally, if you have time, always take
Yes,
your time.
yes.
I'm just drying the stencil because I want to, cover all the sides. So this is dry. And guys, I'm just because of the since I'm doing this live, I'm kind of holding my box with one hand and stenciling with other. Ideally, if you are doing it at home, put box on something and then do it so that your stencil doesn't move. My stencil is moving a little bit because I'm doing it with one hand.
Next thing is I'm going to color mine. the cherries and the leaves.
Mhm. Lovely. I love the 3D idea. It will add a pop.
थोड़ा भी हिलेगा, but I cannot help it.
I'm sure थोड़ा तो हिलेगा. So these mold pieces that I had, I will kind of just use some Fevicol to stick it. Now, if you have like a acrylic soft gel or a foil magic, use that. Uh, right now, I don't have any of those handy, so I'm going to use Fevicol. The only issue with Fevicol is it will take a little bit of time to dry, and I will have to keep them in place for some time. Yeah, Kavita. Cool idea, right? To make your own cherries and make it more 3D. Lovely idea. Though.
Now some sap green. You can play around with the shades of green if you want. I'm
Yeah.
adding some wet cement to the shade of green.
There people are asking अगर आप एक बार zoom in करके bottle दिखा सकते तो Ekta
Sure.
is asking. Hmm.
Okay.
And also in the end, once everything is done, we'll show all the zoom
Yeah,
ins.
I will show it. Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Now we are going to add some shading to the elements.
Now what I'm going to do is Anamika has inspired me also to do something 3D. So I am now kind of doing my impromptu things. So just give me a minute. I will just get some stuff.
So now I'm using some shades of Midnight Dreams
Hmm.
to give it a darker tone.
So everybody is saying the shade on the mold is looking so very pretty. जो आपने मिक्स किया ना to kind of create that grayish blue.
Thanks, thanks.
So now before I get into the idea of Anamika's things to do, I want to kind of age my molds on the side. So for that, I'm using this Midnight Dreams and I'll add little bit of it. So I'm taking a lot of water and I will put this so that uh, this color will kind of go into the recesses of the mold. So where are the low points of the mold? वहाँ पे we are putting the
Same I'm doing. I'm using Midnight's Dream
action.
and going around the edges of the mold.
Yeah. So you would say why everybody does this or why is it such a common practice? That is because this is a perfect and the easiest way to kind of age your molds and make it look vintage. Okay. So that is why a lot of people do it. And now I using a tissue, I'm kind of dabbing off the excess from the top. It doesn't matter because on the top, I'm going to cover it with a lot of things, which will be my next step. I'm still removing a little bit of excess using the tissue, as you can see. Yeah, this will also show the details on molds, Kavita. Absolutely right. So while this dries, taking inspiration with Anamika, I thought I'll do this the star on the Christmas tree 3D. So for that, what I'll be using, and I want it to shine. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use some gilding flakes. This is gold gilding flakes with varnish, and we'll kind of create a pasty material. And this is just a plastic cup that I reuse for my raisin and stuff. I don't need a lot. Mm. I need a good brush. Let me find it. I'm using varnish, CrafTangles varnish. Okay. This is gloss. So it will dry glossy, which we want. So I'm taking just a little bit in my brush and I'm kind of mixing it. I need a little bit. That's it. You can see it's like a pasty kind of a thing. And the gloss will dry clear. So we'll only be left with gold at the top. Use a fine tip brush because this is a
Next, I'm going to add some splatter.
Yeah, I could add like the red also here and here and all that. You could do that. But वो क्या अभी मेरे पास red है नहीं and then I'll have to make. But the same thing you can do this with red gilding flakes and all that. I may do later on. Because I have one more step to add before I close. Actually, two more steps. So now on the sides also I want to add a little bit of gilding flakes, but I want to make it a little bit mattish as compared to this. So for that I'll be using glue because this dries clear, but it is matte. Okay, so I will mix this with my gilding flakes to kind of create the effect. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'll first make sure my molds are 100% dry. Uh, what color splatters are you using, Anamika?
Midnight Dreams, that is black with a hint of Bohemian blue. You can straight away use black. You can also, if the base would have been a bit darker, I would have preferred white also. But my base is mostly on the whiter part side, so I am using a darker splatter.
Okay. Another thing that I just noticed is that this part is a little bit white, right? The Santa part. So I was just noticing that through the camera. In person, it doesn't look that bad, but on camera, I can see there is a lot of whitish area here. So we'll blend that a little bit. So for that, I'm using the same two colors that I used the background.
I just wanted to add a hint of red so that it can go with the cherries. So I have mixed thoda sa sangria with Bohemian blue so that it kind of gives the perfect shade. Okay. So once this is like done, my
Mhm.
next step is going to be use of gold.
Okay. You can see this is much more blended now. Yes.
So for gold, I'll be using my vintage gold from Fitrima.
Okay. Can we give a sandy texture to the bottle initial for frosty feel? Like,
Yeah,
uh,
you can do that. You can use texture paste, mix it with a grainy material, sand, say, and you can give. But then putting your
paper will be difficult.
yeah, paper might be a bit of an issue, but if you can handle it, then definitely yes.
Yeah. So you can use, there is a texture paste sand which is available that you can use directly, or you could also mix it with gesso. That will, I think, make the application easier for you with sand to apply. But as Anamika said, the uh, application of napkin post that will become a little bit difficult. I'll just remove the excess.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. I'm
And
still left with one more part, the last part actually.
I'll just varnish us after that. In the meantime, I can give you all a closer look.
Yeah. Ah, lovely. Yeah. The gold is looking very. We can, Anamika, you could probably show your face if flipping is possible for you. Or before that, you'd probably show once more the close up. Or are you
Project
doing
one.
varnishing as well
Yeah, I'll be doing varnishing.
right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The
So
quietest podcast, yes, but I was also busy. So, yeah. So this is what I'm using. So while Anamika varnishes, and this is the cardstock. I wanted to add a coat. And thank you, Kavita. मैं एकदम ऐसा stress में थी आज, to be honest. Uh, how will I be able to catch up? So I'm going to do a little bit of embossing on top of this. So for that,
uh, I'll just get my varnish, Khyati. I think I have not kept it. Just 2 minutes, huh?
sure. So what I'm doing is I wanted to stamp a coat and do some gold embossing on top of it. Uh, So that is what I want to do here. So this is the stamp set that I'm using. This is called Happy Holidays. And what I want to use is wishing you the love and joy this holiday season. Okay. So that is the sentiment that I want to stamp. So this is again more of a traditional stamping method, but I thought this box can, do away with a little bit of message since we are going to use this for gifting. And thank you, Anamika. Thank you, Kavita. I love what, this does, like adding glue and this. It kind of alleviates your bones. Okay. So I really like this technique to add a little bit of interest onto your molds. So what for now for embossing, what I'm doing for those of you, because many of you are decoupage artists, in case you don't know, I'm using Versamark ink pad on a stamp set. And Anamika is using CrafTangles varnish. That is what she was showing you earlier, just a second back. So I'm going to my impression. So you can see a very light impression has come. And then what we are going to do is I use some Ranger embossing powder. Now I used to do a lot of card making before I started everything else. So I kind of have these big tubs of embossing powder with me. And I keep a lot of them. Normally these don't use up as much. So even a small bottle will do. But this is Ranger embossing powder, again available on our website. Yeah. So all you have to do is stick some powder here. So now you can see the coat. This is again like gilding flakes, a little bit messy business. So let me just clean my table. So now I'm going to use heat gun here and you will see this will turn golden. You can see now it has become like how you get it on a wedding cards, etc. So that is how this looks now.
Yeah, done.
Okay. So
So
you
I'll
could
just.
probably put some angles at 360 degree
Ah,
up there. And then in another few minutes, I'll also be done.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. So, if you want any particular angle for the project to be shown of Anamika, do ask her. Thank you, Pranya. Thank you, Kavita. Thank you. Beautiful project, Anamika ma'am. People are
Thanks.
saying.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So here, what I have done is I have just used a little bit of gold cardstock to kind of create the border. Yeah. And that will complete my coat. Now to add this coat, what I'm going to do is I actually need a little bit of foam tape and I'll add that here and that will complete my box. I don't have a foam tape handy, so I'll add that later on. Uh, but I just wanted to show you that this is how it will come. It will become a little bit alleviated. So I would either put it here or I'll put it here because I have a little C movement that I did over here. So I will kind of camouflage it with the sentiment. So that will complete my project. Anamika ji, beautiful project. I hope you can see mine.
Yes, now I'll be able to see yours. Yeah,
So this is what
beautiful.
I'm doing. Okay. So I'll
All
just
this I didn't even see yours. This is the first time I've seen
हाँ, वही वही मैंने बोला आप मेरा भी देख लो थोड़ा
yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
it's
show
very
us your
nice. Yeah,
face also.
very pretty.
थैंक यू आज मैंने भी मोल्ड यूज किए मैंने ऐसे सोच रही
Ah,
थी यार क्या ज्वाइन करूंगी यूज
no,
कुछ भी
I
हो
could hear you that you were saying that mold use करना है, but I was so engrossed in.
या
बहुत सुंदर लग रहा है. Very
so
pretty.
this on the sides I did some stenciling and this is like your own made colored paste with clear gesso and chalk paint sorry clear paste and chalk paint of your choice and I will add this coat because it is kind of a gifting thing so I got this tape. This is like a 3D foam tape so it will add a little bit of dimension. uh, I need a thicker one. Yeah. So this is a thicker one, a half-inch one that I'm using. एंड आई विल ऐड दैट अनामिका मैम तब तक आपको ट्राई करना है अपना फ्लिप करने का कैमरा अगर
हाँ,
कोशिश
okay, okay, अच्छा,
तो ये थोड़ा अलग है
okay,
नॉट योर
okay.
इंस्टाग्राम नाइफ को माय टेबल इज इन chaos if anybody will look at my table they will go crazy इतना गंदी तरह अभी सब है
Yeah, I think people can see my face now.
yeah yeah I can see hello how are you so मैं बस ये कर रही हूँ probably I'll add a little bit of gold splatter and that will complete my project. अभी मुझे कोट इसलिए डालना था because this has now become a proper Christmas box. So इस
Yeah,
पे कोट करके I am going to like put something in this. Upcycle हो गया अपना डब्बा और ऐसे you can gift it to people.
beautiful. You can put some gifting items inside and then you can give it to people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's what I was thinking. And then अगर आपको पीछे मतलब अभी नहीं मैं probably just a good idea that from the same stamp set you could do like put this here. We wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy
yeah,
Holidays, like a logo kind of a thing at the back. And that will kind of complete the box and nobody will know कि ये मिठाई का डब्बा है जो हमने
yes,
रिक्वेस्ट किया है और हम इसमें
beautiful,
gift भर के दे रहे हैं. So that was the
beautiful.
idea. Thank you, Anamika ma'am. So that was what the idea was today that हम Christmas napkins use करके we make and I was happy that हमने दो एकदम अलग चीजें बनाई. आपने बॉटल बनाया और मैंने I made this box.
No,
So
both were like reusable stuff. No, both that was the best thing.
या सो मतलब मजा आ गया अपसाइकल ही हो गया सॉर्ट ऑफ दोनों तो पहले मैं एक्चुअली वो मेरा कुल्फी वाला डब्बा करने वाली थी द राउंड वन बट आई थॉट वो
Okay.
फिर कभी करेंगे वो ऑलरेडी मेरा रील
No,
वगैरह
now
भी
you have given me an idea also. The next time I'm going to use those mithai wala boxes.
हाँ अरे मैं तो लिटरली मेरे को घर में सब देके जाते हैं पता है मिठाई खाली होती है कह रहे तेरे को कलर कुछ रील के लिए
नहीं,
चाहिए तो ले
म- मेरे घर में बॉटल्स आते रहते हैं डिफरेंट शेप्स से.
नहीं, वो तो मेरे पापा बाकायदा ही गॉट इट लाइक सेलिंग वो नीचे एरिया में देयर इज अ बार सो ही गॉट इट फ्रॉम देयर ही टोल्ड मी कि तेरे को कौन-सा शेप चाहिए बोला आई गेट इट सो ही गॉट इट फॉर मी तो वो भी मेरे को करना है। तो मेरे को एक्चुअली आपके वो वीडियोज़ देख के ना आई एम वेरी इंस्पायर्ड टू डू दैट तो आई विल प्रोबब्ली डू दैट
नहीं,
एंड
but nice. I mean, these are good gifting options.
Yeah, and see that is how you learn also. You cannot directly say कि मेरे को कोई order चाहिए and मैं सीधा project करूँ या सीधा MDF के डब्बे पे करूँ. So I always
Correct.
feel you would rather spend money on supplies than basis
Yes,
initially to start off with, right? So you could
yes,
always upcycle everything जो घर पे पड़े हो and learn and then make a more professional project for people who are doing
बिल्कुल.
it for the first time. Like not everybody is like फर्स्ट डे से ही सामान बेच रहे हो वैसा सो एटलीस्ट दैट
Correct.
वाज द केस फॉर मी कि मैंने ऐसे चालू किया था एंड लुक मैंने इंस्पायर होके आपसे 3D स्टार
अरे
बना
बाबा, that's nice.
ट्री के
Very nice.
ट्री के ऊपर यहाँ पे बनाया है
Very nice.
बाद
Love
में मैं
it.
शायद ये करूँ बट आई थिंक नाउ इट इज आई डोंट वांट टू ऐड एनीथिंग इट इज गुड लुकिंग एज इट
Beautiful. It is looking very pretty.
इज सो थैंक यू प्रज्ञा सेज हाय Anamika ma'am.
Hi, hi, hi.
And Kavita says, thank you, beautiful projects to both of you. And Pradnya says, beautiful projects. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being online. And I hope you enjoyed. We will be back live tomorrow with something. Now, let's see whether we are doing it on YouTube or Instagram, but we will definitely be live tomorrow with Sneha. And thank you, Anamika ma'am. I'll see you
Most
now
welcome.
in December sometime.
Yes.
Yes. So we'll
Yes,
wait for the reel
absolutely.
of the project. Till then, take care
You
and
too.
we'll see you soon. Yeah. Bye
Thank you
bye.
for having
And
me.
thank you,
Thank you.
people.
Bye.
Thank you.